Hi there, I'm just wanting to try and do a little video, and I think I want to talk about belief systems. I don't have any, but there's a lot of people that do, and before my awakening I didn't have any belief systems at all. Never religious, never. I did vote because your parents tell you to do things, but when I awakened, obviously I don't vote now, because I realise when you awaken that it's all one system, and so you vote for one thing, you're allowing the same thing to continue basically, and the system is not what you think it is. It's just a game to keep the real system going. You see, you vote for it's the same man behind the curtain basically presenting to you a false image. But anyway, I want to talk about people that believe in a separate God, and they've never met this God. They have no experience of it. Don't know what they're saying, but yet they repeat it, and it's madness to me. I think this is madness. Now, for me personally, I'm the kind of person that I like to get to the bottom of things. I'm very logical, and I base everything on fact and logic. Through this awakening journey, I'm not like one of these away with a fairy people. I'm someone that has brought logic to this awakening, and what it's shown me is stuff that's in your face, really. That everything must come from nothing. So that blows the separate God idea out the water for a start. If you have a tree there, before it's there, it has to not be there. Right? Has to not be there. Has to not exist. So that means your separate saviour or separate God doesn't exist. It means that you don't exist, because if you start off as nothing, then that means you can only ever be nothing. You can't ever really exist. But this nothing must be a dreaming power. It must be like a dream. That's what it must be. It must be like a dream of existence. That's what I've came up with. That it must be sort of like when you sit alone and a thought comes from nothing. But the self as well. The self is merely just the ego. The ego attaches itself to a new idea, or if it thinks something. But this identity, which is the ego, came from nothing, can only ever be nothing. So it means there's no center to your existence. It's just an ego attachment, basically. And what this self experience comes from. Everything comes from an infinite source. So you're not separate from your God. You are your God. Just in an illusion of a life experience. It's a life experience you're going through. But everything comes from the source. Now you can see yourself as the separate person, but you'll have no power. Or you can see yourself and choose to go back to your true identity, your true self, which is the infinite self. And that is the infinite all, you see. That's what God really is. This infinite power source. And that's the true you. The true you is not, because your life experience is going to be over quite quick anyway. It doesn't last long, really, if you think about it. And it's just a life experience. And it changes, and in 10 years you won't be the same person. You might have the same name, or the same title, the same label, but you're not going to have the same personality. You evolve and change, and things change. And that's because everything is connected, you see. Everything is one. Infinity. But it's all connected. That's how I talk about weather manipulation, because your body is controlled by emotion, which connects, the body is connected to the earth, to the trees, to the weather, and it's all one thing. And this is how they manipulate, I was talking the other day about how they manipulate weather. You know, I was talking about that, and basically how you do it is he who controls emotion is he that controls perception, and that means that you're then controlling the weather, because everything follows emotion. You've got different weather seasons because you need balance and harmony, different emotions in harmony with one another. Now when there's a storm, a lot of spiritual people will say, release your emotions now, or release your fears. That's because storms is an emotional release. The reason there's problems on the planet regarding it's not a hoax. That's not a hoax. You know, people jump on the bandwagon of conspiracy theories. It's not a hoax. It's there. You know, you can see it every day. But it's been manipulated and engineered that way. See, you get some people that are quite intelligent and they come up with a theory and it's, you know, very reasonable. And then other people want to be conspiracy theorists and they make it look bad for everyone else. Because they just jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, that's a hoax, without actually doing any research, without actually knowing what they're actually saying. So this is the problem. But anyway, that's basically how you manipulate weather. It's all about control, you see. Getting the people to fear. That's classic counterintelligence is climate change. Create the problem, manipulate and engineer the weather, get the people to worry, and then the system comes out as the heroes. That's what the game is. That's what the whole game is. I bet you the system is going to come out and they're going to cure it. That's what the game is. It's all a game, you see. It's all a game. You know, and it's the same with the 5G. The 5G and everything is about control. The 5G, smart grid, AI, it's all to do with taking over your mind. That's why they want you, all this virtual reality stuff's coming out. It's all connected to the internet. And the internet's 5G, smart grid, it's all, they want to take over your mind because there's too many people there's people out there that have spiritually awakened. And they don't want us awake, or people like me awakening other people or having an influence. So they want to influence you first. Because the system is falling apart, you see. There's adverts every day on Twitter and posts every day from the government telling people to not listen to other stories apart from their story. As if they're the only people that are right. And because the system is falling apart. Its walls are caving in. And it's going to get worse. Because this is what happens when you try to manipulate reality to suit yourself. They shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have done it. My advice would have been, don't do it. It's going to come back on you, as it's happening right now. But that's what the 5G and the smart grid is all about. It's all about, so you're thinking not your free thoughts anymore. It's ultimately controlled dictated by the system and the smart grid and AI. That's what it's all about. And so they can have control over your mind, you see, and your thinking. But anyway, I'm just going to end it there. If you're watching, you're meant to watch it. Everything falls to divine order. You are divine order. You are the infinite all. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.